Carl and David's Late Night Talk Show.
After Hours.
Hello there, everyone. You're listening to the Late Night with David Jones, and we're doing a Ready Player One spoiler-heavy podcast episode. You have myself. You have Mr. Carl Wise, who is the co-host of the Arrowverse talk show.
Oh, I got updated to co-host.
You have Miss Allie Dumas. And
Hey, what's up? My name is Brian Sanchez. I haven't been on a podcast before, so I'm just happy to be here.
so today we've all seen Ready Player One. Go down the list of how many times you've seen it and if you read the book or not. Carl?
I have only seen it one time, and I have not read the book yet.
Allie?
Same as Carl.
Brian?
I've seen it once, and I've read the book twice.
I've read it. I've seen the movie 3 times and read the book 5. So
Overachiever.
Right?
Nerd! That's what the book's about. So we're going to kind of talk about what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and what we think, and kind of talk about the differences between the book and the movie.
There's a lot. There's a lot of differences.
Not comparing the two, just kind of like what we liked about the change and what we didn't like about the change, and kind of what Carl and Allie's opinions of the changes are and what they would have liked to see over the other. So we're going to start with the cons. I like to start with the cons. So, Carl, what did you not like about the film?
Honestly, there's a lot of things going on in the movie. In like every scene, there's always something going on. And, first time going around the movie, you kind of have to focus on the story. If you want to know, you kind of have to focus. And then if you can manage to see the side glimpses of things, you'll see them. But you'll miss a lot of references, like a lot of references in the movie.
Yeah,
so
first time around.
My thing is, I would have liked to see it more than once, just to, see a lot more references than I was able to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the movie thoroughly because all the references, they went so obscure with some things. Like
There were some deep cuts.
There were some deep cuts.
I didn't even know what a mad ball was until I was reminded that it could be a grenade.
You want to talk about deep cuts, though, in that movie? The scene where Shoto, they're crossing the little, cavern over the Iron Giant, and he, throws that weapon.
Yeah.
That's
The
a movie.
glaive?
Yeah, the glaive.
Yeah.
I've talked to people, no one's known what that was or where it was from. I can't remember the movie off the top of my head, but I have seen it. But
It's like a 5-star, and there's knives sticking out of every point. And it's essentially like a boomerang that flies around.
You know what? That movie does sound familiar, but I can't think of it as well.
I want to say it's like
not a good movie.
It's like it's a very obscure version of an Indiana Jones type, if I remember correctly.
I would say it's more like Conan the Barbarian, kind of.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, there's just a lot of walking around on rocky
Do you remember the movie
surroundings. Just type in the glaive. I'm pretty sure you'll find it.
But you can continue, Carl. I just want to throw.
But yeah, I mean that's just it. It's just that's one of those movies you have to see more than once.
You do. There's.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about the glaive for a second. Oh. I'm no, watching it once, you're good. You don't have to watch that movie more than once.
But that's about it. What do you think, Allie?
Kroll. That's the movie.
I can't really think of cons, but one thing that really turned me off was the animation of the characters, just the way they're made. Artemis, she's not that cute, but that's it pretty much. But then you grew to eventually get used to it and like them kind of.
They definitely went with a stylized choice, which I found interesting because if you have your avatar and you can have it any way you want, I guess it's you have a certain style that the Oasis has, and then there's just the hyper realistic forms of the 80s. Because if in the third act when everyone is a different thing,
yeah,
I can only assume it's because they are their avatars, So there are people who really look like the faces of whatever their avatar is trying to be, but then I guess a normal avatar just looks these weird elf anime-eyed looking things. Like, I thought Artemis kind of looked like what's that one? Battle Angel?
Alita.
Battle Angel.
Yeah.
I felt like her eyes were like a little too big.
Okay.
For me, like the avatars, like when I saw them in the trailers and like the posters and everything, I didn't like them that much. I liked them in the movie. Like, I thought for what they were doing in the movie and everything, I thought it was pretty good, and it's what I kind of expect for virtual reality once we get to that point of what we have in the Oasis.
Yeah.
Technically, we're working our way.
Oh,
VR chat.
That's exactly what I said. When I
VR
walked out
chat
of
is
the movie.
basically starting the Oasis.
Yeah, like it's already biggest air quotes here because of VR chat. You know,
Yeah.
like we
can
are
really-
very close to the Oasis, like a version of the Oasis, and
Yeah.
that's how I picture the avatars looking when it's a human form of an avatar.
Oh, they have human forms already.
Yeah.
It's got anime forms, Goku forms, Knuckles
JoJo's
forms.
JoJo's forms.
So besides the avatars, is there anything else?
No, I don't know. That's all I can think of right now.
I just want to say it's making me really happy to know like cons are like very small.
Don't get me started. What was this love subplot? That was like, okay, I understand that like it does come from like a young adult novel, essentially. It's like it's a dystopia. Teenagers has to rise above the adults. They succeed, and the guy gets the girl in the end.
Oh yeah, that honestly, that one just happened way too
Yeah.
rapidly for
It
me.
was just like one thing that they don't portray well in the movie is pacing and time.
Yeah.
Like they don't really show how much time passes between events. Also, like the sun isn't out, so it's really hard to tell. Because in between when he first sees Artemis on the bike, and then they're like at the club, you know, what's it called?
The distracted globe.
Yeah, the distracted globe. I don't know how much time has passed, but in like movie time, I feel like it's only a couple minutes, and he's like, "I love you."
Yeah, but in reality, it feels like it's to them. It's probably been weeks, but to us,
It doesn't feel like it literally feels like it's been a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it's still moving things pretty fast.
Oh, I completely. They took the love story between Artemis and Parzival from the book, and it was like, we had to keep it in the movie, guys. So we just condensed it to a very, very small, like, square on the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, okay, but why does it a Rubik's Cube though?
Because that's what the Oasis is.
Yeah, I know, but
That's
like,
why I chose the Rubik's Cube as a.
Okay, but at any rate, I thought that, like you said, it is very condensed, and like I feel like there's not enough things to make them want each other. Like, sure, like Percival or Wade is like a fan of Artemis, and you know, and in the very beginning of the movie, when they're in the race and he sees her, it's like, oh, I know all of her Twitch streams, and you know, I've seen her do this and that and that. I'm a big fan. Okay, so he's like a fan of her, and then what does Wade do that Artemis wants him back?
He solves the first challenge.
So
That's-
it's like, yo, I really like how you backed that ass up in that race. Let me get in on that. So,
You're not wrong though. Like,
yeah.
it was a very one-sided, like, relationship,
Mm-hmm.
love kind of thing, and then Artemis is like, sure, why not? Just jump for it.
Yeah. Also, no one died. Like, I thought at least one person would die amongst the high five.
I think they should have.
Yeah.
To show, because especially when they're talking about stakes,
Mhm.
like this is so I can't zero out. I think this is too high of a stakes. Someone should have died.
Because
If they were gonna
Daito.
kill. Yeah, I was gonna say Daito.
yeah.
Daito would have been one. I know my man came in with the Gundam, and that was great, but he could have gone. I would have been okay with Daito. I loved everybody else. Sho, he was the greatest 11-year-old ever.
I love his one-liners.
Oh yeah, he had great one-liners.
Ninjas don't hug. I like it.
He's definitely like, he's in my positives like all the way. For me though, oh wait, no, do you have?
Because like in the books, Daito dies in real life, you know?
Yeah.
And because of that, from that point forward, you realize that it's not. It's such a cliche thing to say, but it's not just a game
anymore. It's not a game anymore.
Because the stakes raised because like IOI is straight up murking folks. You know, people are dying because of IOI, and it's not just like, oh, I'm in severe debt. No, they're popping caps in people.
It's like
Bombs are going off. People
Yeah, I mean,
are dying.
I think the only people that I can honestly say that we knew died was his sister's mom or his mom's
aunt.
sister.
yeah.
But that lovely old lady survived.
Okay, that's okay.
She
So
lived at the bottom of the
it's
stack.
very
where
nitpicky
the
for me.
bomb started.
No, the bomb didn't start in the bottom.
Oh, does it start at the bottom?
It started in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah.
They put. I think they legitimately put the bombs at Wade's section.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it's very
Wait, all the
nitpicky
shit
stuff for
fall on
me.
your house? Oh,
It tumbled.
okay.
It's very nitpicky, and it's from the book. One, that old lady didn't die. I'm very upset about that. Because the moment she came on screen, I was like, I can't go through this again. Because in the book, like she was like the only like living person, like real person that Wade knew that was like actually somewhat nice to him.
Yeah.
And like invite him in from the cold and everything. And then she died. And I was like, that's sad. And Daito not dying. Like the death of Daito in the book didn't it was an impact because of Shoto.
Yeah.
But I was like waiting for come on Daito. Just die in battle, please. Just die.
I almost, the first time I watched it, I was thinking, maybe he is dead. Because they're like, where's Daito? And he's just slunched. He's just like hunched over in the corner of the van. I'm like, did they get him while they were driving? Did like a stray bullet come through and like get him? And I thought that's how they were going to do it. He came out with a gun out of nowhere. I'm like, nah, he's alive. He's cool.
But overall, I don't have many negatives to this movie besides like the obvious like time
frame
of the whole thing and just lack of like risk, really, because like
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Now
like,
that you
they talk about like in the beginning they raise like I can't zero out, which I understand because he's poor, still have the money for everything, but it's like if you're gonna talk about not zeroing out, like I need to see people zeroing out
more than just like that weird like boyfriend of his mom's sister.
Yeah.
Like
you
that's
say
the only
on-
other person that
No,
I've seen that's
because he refers to her as his mom's sister. It's like,
how he says
you killed my mom's sister.
But like he zeroes out, and he's like, did you spend all of our money? He's like, yeah, but I was gonna win this artifact, which is gonna put us on the map. I can't think of anyone else who zeroed out before the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the Sixers, like, I don't think anyone really. Ooh, that Planet Doom. I'm sure people zeroed out there.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. But
'Cause, like,
they are random people.
Because you definitely saw Daito and Shoto kind of like double teaming people.
Yeah.
Like slice up someone up and then slice down or stab in the front, stab in the back.
I seen them taking out Freddy Cougar, Jason. That was H.
Nuke.
Duke.
Yeah, thank you. Nuke Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With,
and like I'm pretty sure Chucky zeroed out like 8 folks in like 1 second.
Yeah.
No, Chucky zeroed out like a good handful of people, like 10 to 20 people.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like, I had a really fun time with this movie. So like I don't really like care about most of the negative stuff I have. Like it's much nitpicky. Even the Daito not dying or the Mrs. Gilroy not dying, the time is like my big issue.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't take away from the movie.
It doesn't.
For
If
like,
I could put this movie down into like one word, I'd definitely call it like spectacle.
Oh,
Because it's so much fun to watch, like fireworks going off, that you don't want to like stop watching until they come out of the oasis and there's just exposition. Let me just tell you what's going on.
it's fun because when you do a video game movie, everyone's like, I kind of want to know what's going on outside of the video game.
Oh, yeah.
This is the movie where it's like, I don't care about anything outside of the real world.
Can we go back?
I want the video game.
Oasis is great. Let's go back there.
And
But I still like the juxtaposition. Like, one of my favorite things in the third act is the fact that he's still in a van while it's moving, and he's trying to do stuff in the game. So he looks like, like the whole Oasis is fine. He just looks drunk while he's trying to put in the keys, and he's like scraping the keys. He's like, and it was ooh, like all the people in Iowa are like watching him trying to put the keys in. I don't think they know he's in a van.
No, I don't think they know they're in a van. Also, I just love how the one girl in the front's like trying to put the key in.
With him, it's just like, come on, we can do this together.
But yeah, we just kind of just jumped right into the positives. But I do want to point out, I don't think the IOI egg hunters and everything know what IOI is going to do with the Oasis if they win.
Of course not.
So
That's
it's
fair.
like I can't blame them for doing what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
But it's like,
Because those were all people who love the pop culture and love everything about the Oasis.
agree.
And
half of them could be in debt
Researching.
to IOI.
Well, yeah, I'm sure like most of them are in debt
Yeah.
at some point. But even like
Just love of pop culture is also good too.
yeah.
Just saying.
just seeing it in the movie wise, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe they don't really know what they're going to do with it, and they're just doing what everyone else is doing. They're just with a clan by
Oh
force.
yeah, it's true.
I did like how like Sorrento was like, when you see Sorrento, he's like all talking like he knows what's going on in the world, like he's the pop and everything, and it kind of goes to who's in his ear. He's like, that's the wrong school. This is the right school.
Oh, during the bribe.
Yeah. So that was one thing I liked about it, was about IOI at least. Allie?
About IOI.
No, just in general, like some
Oh, like
positives.
something I liked? I loved IROC.
I liked IROC too. I also love the fact that he has holes in him, and that's where he stores all of his stuff. Like at one point, he has to pop the orb out, so he hits himself in the back, and it pops out of one of his holes.
My plan worked because I rock.
Yeah, I loved
One of my favorite lines of the movie from him.
Yeah, I honestly could not get him because it's the same guy that played the sidekick for Deadpool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about.
He's also the meh from the Emoji Movie,
The me?
isn't it? Isn't it?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I think he is a character in the Emoji Movie. I don't know if it's the mech character. Because isn't the mech character like the main character?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the main character.
T.J. Miller is not the main character.
I watched that movie once. I blocked that movie out.
He's seen it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Look, I'm gonna throw this out here right now. If someone's like, "Hey, let's watch the Emoji Movie," walk away. Just walk away. Like if they drove somewhere and they're like, "Hey, I drove, so you can't leave," just Uber. Just
Dude,
leave.
get a lift. Get an Uber.
Like
summon the giant eagles from Lord of the Rings. You'll be fine.
just
Get out.
walk away.
Pray to Cthulhu at that point.
Because I'm telling you,
Wait to the old gods.
the movie is garbage. No matter how many A-list actors you got in that movie, no matter how much Patrick Stewart is the main character in that movie, if he is, I don't remember. Not redeemable. Back to Ready Player One, because I refuse to talk about that trash again.
IROC?
IROC.
Yeah.
Rocks.
Agree, like, there was parts of Deadpool where, like, I was like, oh, well, it's just him being the character of Deadpool. Because he was breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt about it, was breaking the fourth wall. But I like how he had that humor to it, but very much menacing at the same time.
Like, he was definitely like a bounty hunter with the mouth. Like, Deadpool was his best friend, and he's just like, I learned from Deadpool to be like this. I'm an assassin with the mouth.
I also like how he loses an arm during the big fight.
Yeah.
And then he just comes back with like a big tentacle. He's like, okay.
Especially how, like, that's so weird that when you, like, lose a body part, coins and stuff are falling out of you.
He's like trying to grab the coin.
I liked that aspect of it.
Oh yeah.
Like, the fact that he, like, lost his arm to the glaive, he's like, crap! He's, like, scooping the coins up, and he's, like, just running away from it. Like, if I was Show or Parzival, just scoop those coins up.
Yeah.
Put those in here.
I'm gonna need you for my high tech shrinking car that I can't think of the name. DeLorean.
Okay.
I should have blinked on his car for a second. You go on my DeLorean for a little bit. But what else besides iRock?
I have a question.
Yes.
Did we ever see iRock's like real life person?
No.
No.
No, you only see the avatar. Yeah.
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Cause like, it's one of the changes I liked from the book. We got more iRock, and it explains some plot holes of one. How did they find out who Wade was?
Yeah.
How did they find out have iRock do it? It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but like in the book, when he says it's like, oh sure, you can do whatever you want, Wade, and then when that happens, you're like, oh shoot, how do they know his name? But then the way that the movie says it, it's like before the bribe even happens, like you already know, the audience knows that he knows that his name is Wade. So it kind of takes away from that stinger when he's just like, sure, and he says name, and Wade's like, he knows who I am.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I just enjoyed that there was a way of finding out how they found out his name, and it was in a clever way, not just like he said his name.
Yeah, Wade screwed up.
But, he's definitely screwed up by saying his name Wade, but iRock did some research though. He's like, I searched the database. He was the only person that in this
bought a haptic suit.
So I was like,
so what kind of rig you rocking?
That got extremely sexual real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. I also like in the same scene, like it showed pleasure and pain because it shows it going red on him, and he's just like and he's like falls over. But it's just like that's the first time they've like danced together.
Yeah.
And one of her like opening moves is to go under his legs. So it's like, oh, you're rocking that haptic suit. Right under the legs, and you just see the whole wave go like up his body, and I'm just like, what is she doing in that oasis? like I'm like, because we see the big woman in the stacks dancing on the pole.
Yeah.
Early on, is Artemis doing that in the hideout? It's like, hey, did you find out where the second key is? Hold on, I need to grind up on this boy first.
I'm about to say, for those who can't actually see this, Brian is actually grinding. Give y'all a visual key to that.
Yeah.
He's a very visual person.
Just imagine like Pumbaa just wiggling around, and you pretty much got a good idea in your head of what it looks like.
Wow.
Another thing I like
He's not
about Ready
wrong.
Player One is the enemy. Sorrento.
Yeah.
His avatar was pretty cool. I couldn't nail down what he was.
Was he
But-
Clark Kent mixed with Lex Luthor?
I think it was
mixed
just a
with the-
custom. I think it's basically a custom avatar. This big, broad, built character with the
Superman.
chiseled chin, that kind of deal.
Like,
He has a little,
yeah, he had like the curly Q hair and everything.
Yeah,
I was
you know.
like,
but he was in a business suit.
The perfect look kind
With
of
armor.
guy.
and they mentioned Lex Luthor, so I was like, if he's trying to like be the hero but also be the villain, having a comparison or a mixture of Lex Luthor and Clark Kent
Yeah.
would have been fine. I have no idea what he was though.
Yeah, I think it was just a custom character.
It was like a gray version of the Crimson Chin for a job interview.
Basically.
That's what I saw.
You're not wrong. It
Yeah.
was.
But I think he looked cool in the Oasis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want his. I want Sorrento's like real world tie
Why?
because it had like IOI S or NS on it.
Oh.
So I was like, it would be kind of just nice little Ready
I'm
Player
pretty
One.
sure somebody's gonna make that.
Oh, I'm sure, and it'd be a nice like subtle nod to Ready Player One. That
Going into a business business attire, business suit with your
It's like,
Wait, there one time.
it's like, I get that one person who's like, "Are you trying to tell me you're not a good person here? Why do you
No.
say that? Your tie.
No, my tie shows that I'm willing to do anything to win. So who else is being interviewed today? And how many tires do I have to slash? I mean, hands do I have to shake?
But yeah, like Nolan Sorrento was a good villain.
Oh yeah.
What did you think about the villains?
Well, I like the villains, but his avatar was okay looking. I would say, like, I think I agree with Carl. Like, he probably made it himself to look like the business dude-ish villain, but I don't know.
Not wrong. I'm going with it was a Lex Luthor Clark Kent hybrid.
Although
Until I get like Steven Spielberg come out, I was like, it's not that hybrid. Calm down.
like those two still work together.
Yeah.
Like as a theme.
Yeah.
But I like the whole idea of the avatars in and of themselves. Like at one point, even Wade Watts is Clark Kent.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
library, he's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But then, does that mean in your avatar you can put your own arm as a chest burster, and then just go no?
I'm guessing because what Artemis came out was it as a Gorog? Yeah. So it's an avatar inside of an avatar, which is some avatarception right there.
There's a lot you can do in the Oasis.
That was a good
I like
scene.
how they show.
That was a good scene though, where like you can't just go out in public now. You're the Parzival, and like they take him to like that secret room in the library that no one else can get into apparently.
The whole movie is about Easter eggs. Makes sense.
And like they'll do a little like alien like burster. And she's like, she's like cracks up laughing and is like, "That's not funny." Oh yes, it is.
That was absolutely hilarious. Like,
Okay, so we talked about Artemis. We talked about Parzival and Wade. What did you think of H?
H was great.
Yeah.
Like,
I was surprised with the voice they chose though, because I don't know. Maybe it's because I read the book, and that I know that H is really like a girl.
yeah.
But it just sounded like a girl pretending to not be a girl. It's like, how do you know that she's not like a girl?
Maybe their voice communication things are still not that advanced.
It made me think of Amanda Bynes from that one old
She's
movie.
the man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she pretends to be the guy and she's like, "Oh yeah, you know."
Oh yeah, I love football. I mean soccer. What are we
let's
playing?
toss a pigskin. And that's what it made me of. And I was like,
Yeah.
I wish they would have done it a little bit better. Like they could have easily just had like another actor come in and voice H as the avatar. Would have been fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been completely fine with
I
it.
think because I didn't read the book, I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
And-
thinking.
and
Like,
yeah,
maybe because I already know, maybe I'm already like
Yeah.
projecting that like, okay, that's not a dude.
I mean, I picked up on it. I picked up on the voice. It's like I've noticed, like, you know, all these other people, they sound normal, but H just has that sudden like auto tune kind of deal to it, where it does not sound like it should fit who she's supposed to be. But I didn't really question it at the time. I figured as much as well, but especially at that point where he's, you know, like H says, well, he could be a 300-pound woman.
He could be a 300-pound dude living in his mother's basement.
Yeah.
Named Chuck.
Name Chuck. I was about to say, are you trying to tell me something, H?
But I like H because in the Oasis they show that H has like a workshop.
Yeah.
You know, and in that workshop, that's where they get away with like a lot of Easter eggs. Like that's where the ships are shown. That's where the Iron Giant is shown. That's where we get a better view of what Artemis's Akira bike looks
Yeah.
like.
Ah, the kid
So,
bike.
yeah.
I need to watch that again.
Speaking of H's workshop, remember how like I was like complaining that you like on the poster you see the swordfish,
Yeah.
but never in that you see in the movie. It's false. In H's workshop, the swordfish is hanging up in the background.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just really rewatched that entire series, except for the last episode. I don't feel like dealing with the heartbreak right
Don't.
now.
But that also goes into what you were saying before. The, like when you first, Carl, when you because I realize I can't see who I'm pointing to, but you were saying before when you first watched the movie, you want to know what the story is and you want to know where they're taking the characters along for the ride. So you kind of miss a lot of stuff in like your peripherals. And boy, is this movie great for watching again and again and again because you can check out stuff in the peripherals.
I think no matter how many times you see this movie, you're going to pick up something new.
Yeah.
Like no matter how you can see the movie 20 times, and at some point you're going to see something new.
Yeah, something you didn't see the last 15 times or something.
In the opening scene where the Oasis is first introduced, and Wade is pretty much still doing his exposition where he's talking about what the Oasis is all about. There's a good 3 seconds where the camera is zooming in through all of these different worlds from Minecraft and the vacation world, casino world. There's Easter eggs on those little planets.
Yeah.
At one point we see Batman, and then in the casino world we see Cloud with the that big white cat thing with the tiny wings. If you played 7, you know what I'm talking about. Also, the orange cat's with him because they're walking into the casino.
Yeah.
And then after that they head to the hub, or I forget what it's called, where people are just walking.
We finally see Wade walking and setting his avatar up.
There are so many Easter eggs just in that first minute when you see him just walking around.
Yeah.
It took me being
God
told.
dang.
It took me being told that Hello Kitty was in there.
Oh yeah, it's
I saw
and
Hello
2
Kitty.
other friends.
I did not see Hello Kitty
Dorothy
the first
and My Melody and stuff.
the first time watching
Allie
it.
saw it.
I saw it.
And,
Twice.
the second time I saw it, after I was told by Allie, it was oh yeah, Hello Kitty. And I was like,
Yeah, and I honestly saw 2 obscure characters from a video game I didn't think I was going to see.
Oh, who'd you see?
From Battleborn. I mean...
Oh, the dude with the big arms?
Yeah, Atticus.
Yeah.
Atticus. I call him Atticus because it's just funnier that way. And then they have another one, he was in the background, but
The
you
mushroom?
could... No.
Oh.
Benedict.
Is that the guy
Eagle.
with cane?
The Eagle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you see him. I was like, this game died out immediately.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
I loved it. I played the hell out of it. But it died immediately because of Overwatch.
Overwatch was just too strong.
And I thought Overwatch was gonna kill it with references. I only saw Tracer.
I think Reinhardt's in there somewhere.
I haven't played Overwatch, so I
You know,
only
I
know
would-
of Tracer because she's dead
Yeah, she's dead
center.
center.
Yeah, I
In,
would.
every scene.
You probably right in the middle of the war. You probably see Reinhardt, but at the time, I mostly only saw Tracer.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to talk about an obscure reference? I wish they would have thrown in there. I don't know if they would be able to or not, but Bob from Reboot.
Oh, dang.
Or
We were just talking about that.
or even Megamite. One of the 2 main people from Reboot, and mainly because I've watched the reboot of Reboot on Netflix now. But it would have been nice to see Bob because it's a person inside a video game, inside the internet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, simple avatar you could do, even if you're doing Megabyte. It's nice, simple, and
There were some simple avatars like the Hello Kitty. That's not very hard to program in.
Though this does give me another reference. I honestly thought this movie was gonna be more video game references. It is so much more than that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so many
Movie
and
references,
comic
TV
references.
shows. It's just wow. It's that
Did you
one's
see Alf?
Alf?
He's there.
I thought I saw him. I wasn't sure though.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I remember seeing him.
I'm convinced that scene where Ivar walks into the distracted globe,
Yeah.
and he walks in that VIP room with Harley Quinn,
Navi.
and the other 2 people. I'm pretty sure that other person, that one of those people, are Navi.
Oh yeah.
I was it looks too much like that, someone from Avatar. Which I'm surprised we didn't see any Avatar stuff.
Maybe they
Okay,
didn't want
you're-
to dig into.
No, I'm talking about because if they're doing Navi stuff, Navi, the flying thing they use in Avatar,
Oh yeah.
the blue people Avatar, not
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Yeah, I get you when you're talking about. I'm like, wait, which character was
Yeah,
Navi
in
in
Jane Cameron's Avatar, where Appa comes out of nowhere.
You got Appa flying nowhere, giant flying Titanic.
But yeah, just the holy hand grenade is what really got me.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That one was really nice to see. I also did enjoy the Shining.
Ooh yeah.
I'm gonna get to the challenges later, a little bit, because those are conversation on its own.
Yeah, we're just actually talking about things we like. I don't know.
But yeah, the Shining scene was great.
How did you guys like Simon Pegg with an American accent? I think that was the first time I've heard him speak in an American accent.
I'm not sure who Simon Pegg is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ogden Morrow?
Yeah, Simon was the curator.
Oh, what movie? No. You're gonna have to remind me of like movies
He was
played.
like the butler dude.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Did you see?
yeah.
Have you seen Mission Impossible Rogue Nation?
Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
I've seen Hot Fuzz.
Simon Pegg is
The main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's Simon Pegg. He was the curator guy. He was like the first guy that opened the van at the end. And he was like, yeah, you know, people are out here waiting for you. And waits like 1 second, closed door.
Yeah.
Door opens again.
Seriously, can you close that so I can kiss this girl already? I want to take the leap.
So, other than that, like, is there any other kind of positives or things y'all liked about the movie?
No.
Because Shoto and his one-liners were amazing. And my favorite one-liner from Shoto was, what, do I need to wear a sign that says, hey, I'm 11, shoot me first, no thank you? And then when Wade is trying to kiss Samantha, and like Daito and like H turn around, but Shoto like looks straight at them. See, I know Shoto definitely is like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. I mean, I know you never got much of Daito and Shoto as in the Oasis, but Shoto really killed it in the real world.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I think one of my favorite things was the fact that in the giant battle, Nolan Sorrento was like, alright, they're coming, like, done with this. He like opens up his inventory and like just selects the giant robot.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I saw the shadow, I was like,
I lost my.
I was like, yes, 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 yes. Because Mechagodzilla is one of the biggest things in that battle in the book.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I was like, Mechagodzilla, and then Daisuke comes in with like the gauntlet. I was like, are they just yanking my chain the entire time? They got Ultraman? Like, I was hoping for Ultraman.
Mhm.
But then I got Gundam, which I was completely fine
I'm
with.
okay with the Gundam too.
Like Gundam and Iron Giant versus Mechagodzilla.
It's a combination I never knew I wanted until I saw it.
I just felt like a kid again, having like all of my toys on my bedroom floor, just being like, "Rah! Attack!" and just mashing toys together. And like, they're having a fight right now. It's just like, it's just gonna be you, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla versus Iron Giant and Ken Barbie doll. Come on, let's fight! Yeah.
And
So,
it's like the little brother comes in. It's like, here's a mad ball.
Oh no, grenade! And just throw all your toys up in the air.
But yeah, seeing Mechagodzilla versus Iron Giant and Gundam, beautiful, 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 beautiful. But I'm just want to talk about challenges now.
Okay.
So I want to say that in the book there were 6 challenges.
Because you had gates and you had keys.
Yeah. So what did y'all think of the challenges in the movie?
I'm glad that they narrowed it down.
From what y'all told me, I would have liked to see some of the gates. Did sound pretty interesting though, like to actually get a visual. But I can understand it narrowing it down to 3.
Yeah, and we still technically got gates.
Isn't one of the challenges like you have to reenact this whole movie, War Games, beat for beat?
It's actually technically it's 2 challenges. We have to reenact a movie.
Yeah.
Because you have War Games, and you have to also do the Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if I'd want to watch that on like in a movie.
We
'Cause
kind
I'm
of
just watching another dude do another
we
movie.
kind of got that though.
Yeah.
With
In
The Shining.
But like they weren't saying lines.
No,
beat for beat.
but like I
They
think
were just in the like the universe of the movie.
which I'm fine with. I'm
Yeah.
completely fine with. Like, but if they would have came in there as like somewhat what they did with Shining, like there's specific things they had to do correctly.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't, like lost points or stuff like that, would have been a nice little thing to do too.
Have at least like the same. They quote the quote from the movie.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't know how I feel about the race.
I love the race for the whole purpose of spectacle. Because during the race, I feel like during the race and during the final battle, during those two like events, I won't say scenes because there's multiple scenes in the race. During those two events, I feel like the sound design, like, shown. They showed like everything they could do because
Visually, yeah.
I remember I was watching the movie first time with David Tyler, and I leaned over. I was just like, whoever did the sound design knows their stuff, because during the scene you hear tires squealing, you hear engines roaring, you hear music playing, you hear cars breaking and stuff getting smashed, and like metal ripping and sparks flying, but nothing is too loud.
Yeah.
Nothing is like, the music isn't too loud, or like the sound effects doesn't let you like miss what song is playing. Like everything is equalized. And that's so hard to do when you have special effects going and music playing at the same time. And I was impressed during the race because of the sound. Also, that's the fastest I've ever seen King Kong. I've never seen King Kong move that fast in my life. And I've seen so many King Kong movies. And I saw him like going down all of the buildings. I'm just like, he is an actual threat now. He is something to be feared. And I'm like, this is my favorite King Kong. And it's not even his movie.
But like,
I like the race.
I would have liked the race if it wasn't like the key to the winning was just drive backwards.
That's fair.
Like if you would have like had to drive backwards but like go through all the obstacle course,
Yeah, he's just underneath it.
yeah,
It's
it's
just like, oh,
watching.
cool.
He's like, oh,
Look
it's
at
so
that.
beautiful.
Oh, neat. Oh, so that's where the T-Rex comes in.
It just comes up from the bottom and just
So like, that was one thing where I dislike about the race was how you beat it, but.
I mean, sometimes the hardest answers are the simplest solutions.
yeah.
You're not wrong.
Maybe everyone was like overthinking it.
Exactly. Everybody was overthinking. It was like, there's a finish line right there. I'm going to go drive straight to it. It's just like, it was actually a lot more simpler than that.
Because they also show there's like a wall there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a wall and then cars and then just different spaces you can be in. So then maybe I was like, okay, there's a wall. It's not a looping track. So it must be from here to here going this way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why no one thought to go backwards. Because I know for a fact in Mario Kart, when I was a kid, Mario Kart 64, there was one track. It was the Boo track.
Yes.
Where if you go backwards and you hit the speed bump on the side of the tracks, you could go backwards, hit the bump, get like pulled back in and go forward and win.
Yeah, you reach the checkpoint, or let the game know you reached the checkpoint,
Right.
that you've gone a complete lap. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you could do a whole lap in like a second. So,
Which is, now that you mention that, that's basically a lot of how, a lot of speedrunners kind of do those kind of techniques too, win races. Just, speed run through the game. That's basically all he did was speed run through the race.
but
Yeah. What did you think about the race, Allie?
I think I wanted to see if you could like make a U-turn and just drive forward, but still go backwards. Like instead of driving backwards.
yeah, because he was going backwards the whole way. But if he just turned his car around,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
could
sure
go
you
normally.
could, because there's no physical possible way Artemis would have got through that way.
yeah,
She's on a bike.
motorcycle backwards.
They don't go backwards.
Yeah, I was like, you're totally right on that.
Also, I like the attention to detail, because if anybody has been inside of Lamborghini, if anyone has been inside of a Ferrari, one of those low cars, they don't have mirrors. You open up the door and you'll look out behind you, and that's how you like
Reverse,
go in reverse. So in the DeLorean, it's the same way. So he opens up his door and he's like, okay, where am I going? And I'm like, that's cool attention to detail.
Well, also the fact that it's like the Shoto. Like, he's a kid, so he does not know how to drive, and he crashes. He's like the only one to crash their car.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, why did he crash his car?
Because
then
he's
you-
probably
and then you-
driving backwards as an 11-year-old.
And then you find out he's 11. It's like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He probably drove backwards as an 11-year-old. They have trouble going straight.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there any other things about the race y'all liked? Besides the fact, I like the seeing the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, it was just a visually stunning spectacle, like Brian said. It was visually stunning. The music, Brian said the sounds were on point.
I love the sound.
Like
Alex
at
Alex
points,
Silvestri.
I heard everything I needed to hear. And again, they tend to cut the music when a lot of little epic scenes are happening, but nothing was like too loud or too over your face.
Yeah.
You hear everything. You hear all the explosions, the crashing, the crunching, and then again, music picks back up as they steady out and then slows down. But yeah, I loved it.
I want to thank Alex Silvestri for that. He was the composer for the movie. Which, fun fact, it was actually supposed to be
John Williams.
John Williams
Yeah.
was supposed to be the composer.
But he was busy doing the post at the time.
Which, again, I want to give Steven Spielberg credit on this. Is he was doing this movie and the post same time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because that's when I found out the movie was actually still happening. Because I heard nothing, no casting news, nothing from this movie from Ready Player One, and then out of nowhere, it was like Alex Silvestri would be doing the score for the movie. John Williams was supposed to do it, but he'd be doing the post, which will be in post production at the same time. I was like, that's the best news I got that day. Was the fact that Ready Player One was still happening. But we're gonna move to the second challenge, which was the Shining ballroom scene. Who has seen The Shining?
I've seen it when I was a kid. I haven't seen it recently.
I have actually never seen The Shining, but I know because of pop culture, I know every reference in that movie.
Yeah, I watched it, but I fell asleep. But same as Carl, like I knew everything they were doing and going through like the house. So,
I know that out of the four of us, he's seen it the most recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
That ballroom scene is not in The Shining.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
It's a, like Haunted Mansion
Yeah.
bullshit.
Because I was talking to someone at work who's never seen The Shining, so they didn't know the ballroom scene wasn't in The Shining.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a ballroom in The Shining, but it's not like that.
Missing floor and dancing zombies with.
No gravity.
But yeah, I enjoy The Shining because one, I wasn't expecting it. Because when I was talking to people about like the book and it's like, oh, well, what do we think would be in the movie? I'm like, there's no way they're going to do a reenactment of a movie. It's reenacting a 2-hour plot and then it's not happening.
Even if it's just one scene, it's just like there's this iconic scene reenacted. I doubt they would have done that either.
Yeah.
And I was so like when they're like picking the movie and then like way it was like The Shining. I was like, oh, okay, so it's like gonna be like a little key to get to where they need to be.
Can we talk a second about how they were looking for which one to do and how he just brings down all the VHS? I think the curator brings down all the VHS tapes, and I was just like, I like how they're VHS tapes. They're not like DVDs. They're not like little like portal things of like pictures moving. It's like box sets of like all of these little
little
movies.
Plastic box that VHS came in.
And like box
See,
art.
this is what I wanted to talk about, Voices, on a side note. The way I see it, this is about the society. For some reason, old tends to be what's really popular. So I would imagine sometime way, way, way in the future, retro, things that are so old and retro are going to be like the new fad and the new cool that people are just going to start, trending them again and bringing it back. Mm-hmm. That's just how I see things happening in society in like later time.
Well,
I mean,
already kind of starting.
It's
to
still
now.
kind of happening now, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just how it looked. Like, I love that part about that. It's just like, this is a futuristic movie. Like, we have futuristic game gear that we are traveling through to a video game where we are, having fun, do anything we want to. But we still have futuristic stuff, but still we are keeping everything so retro that it just made it a lot more enjoyable for me.
I think they hit a lot of good audiences that way.
Yeah.
Because you have the kids. God, it makes me feel old when I say that. You have like the younger demographic who are into the younger demographic that's into the more like modern video games. They see like Mario and they see like the Luigi Mario Kart Death Stare Journey Race. They see like Tracer and they see the StarCraft characters
Spartans.
and they see the Halo Spartans. But then you also have the older demographic of people who relate to, oh, I've seen The Shining. I remember watching that as a kid. Or like, I remember
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Yeah.
I also remember watching that movie, Bonsai. What's that one? Bonsai Kid.
Bonsai. It's Bonsai something. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
But people remember watching those movies, you know,
Yeah.
and that's definitely an older movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a good movie for like bringing adults who grew up in the 80s, people who are like in their like 30s and 40s, who were teenagers or even in their 20s during the 80s. And a lot of those memories are very nostalgic for them.
Yeah.
And now they have kids, and they can bring the kids to the movie because they relate to the video games in the movie. It just hits a lot of really good demographics.
Yeah. This is literally a movie for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would recommend this movie for families. Although there's blood, the whole scene where the blood comes through, and they still have a pretty good rating.
Yeah.
Like, how did that pass by?
I think it was able to be passed through for that because it wasn't killing.
Oh yeah, that's true. It doesn't come out of people.
So
It's just flowing
It's just
through.
a red river.
So I think that was
Kool-Aid.
I think that's a loophole for like great to get movies. Like if you don't kill people and you have just like a pool of blood, you should be fine. So I know the movie you're looking for is Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah. Because
It's
that's what
actually
he wears.
the Adventures of
when
Buckaroo
he's-
Banzai when he goes to the
Globe.
District Globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But where we are at The Shining, references, the elevator scene, the twins,
Oh my god.
the
ball.
the ball, the tricycle.
Yeah.
This is the scene H shined, I think, the most.
Yeah.
Because like even the scene when he's in there in room 237,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, hey naked lady, do you know how to get out of here? And like it's like I'm being punked, aren't I? Like,
Where are the cameras?
and he's like, I'm just gonna go with it. And like he immediately found out, don't go with it. And then when H joins the group, he's like, they're like, hey, let's go to room 237. He's like, we have no reason to go.
No reason to go there.
Which you did think about it, they didn't need the key or anything. Like Shoto and Daito ran to get the key, came back with them, threw the key to Parzival, and now we have to go to room 237.
Oh.
They did not need to go to room 237 or find this key.
The
It seemed like
events changed with the key though, because she went to the room before they had the key.
Yeah, because she split up from the group.
Yeah.
Because she got
But
distracted by the
they never went to
twins.
237. They got to where H was in the River of Blood, breaks the pitcher, and then when they get to the pitcher, they go to the ballroom.
He's in the...
You're
Doesn't
right.
H even go into the labyrinth and then he gets pulled out of the labyrinth?
Yeah.
This is no
Yeah.
But yeah, they never go to 237. The key was pointless. All they had to do was get to the ballroom.
You're right.
Because the key was the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless the key is what you get to the key, you get to the poster, the picture, and then it initiates the ballroom scene.
Yeah.
But from the context and everything, you did need to go through all that work.
I love seeing the Sixers freak out when they were in the second challenge.
Oh
And it's like, we've come up to the Shining challenge, and they go over the stairs, and you see all the Sixers just like just freaking out.
I even like how we see them in The Shining,
Yeah.
where part they're at. So you see them one in the bathroom, one
And-
with the giant axe.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in the labyrinth, and they're just getting wrecked by the axes coming down in the snow.
Yeah, that was beautiful that you see what they're doing right now, what they're experiencing. That's what I love. The jump between the real time and the game time. That's what I love to see because you see how they got eliminated in their reactions, which is always priceless.
Um,
But other than that, really nothing more too significant happened in the ballroom other than
well,
Dance with me,
the thing that
young and sweet.
that I like, but I'm still confused by the book and the movie is when people get the key. They get the key and Anorak is talking to them.
Yeah.
It's like he's actually talking to that character in person. Because even when Artemis is like, oh, so you're the one that found the key first.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea of who you wanted to win this?
I think it's more along the lines of a NPC type character, where they have, there's only so many type of situations for them to like to do,
Yeah.
So like,
Go ahead and finish your thought.
so like if I imagine that this dude's a genius, Halliday just knows like what he wants the Oasis to be, so he probably poured himself into the code. So the code thinks the way Halliday thinks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Basically, I don't think either two things it could be. It could be literally Halliday as an NPC, because who knows him better than himself? Like, he literally has his entire memory stockpiled for people to watch. But either that or Halliday actually is in Oasis.
See, that's what I was about to get at, because at the end of the movie,
Are you dead? Yeah.
and it's like at the end of the movie, we find out Halliday is like not dead. He's not alive, but he's not dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well then is Anorak actually Halliday, and he's like actually interacting with these avatars like they would. Because even in the which we'll talk a little bit, but like when Parzival gets to the third key,
and he keeps falling over.
He keeps falling before he grabs the key. He's like,
I want it.
He's like, do you want it?
So it makes me think that there actually is some kind of conscience
Yeah.
inside Anorak. Allie, was there anything about the Shining scene you liked or disliked?
I actually liked it because it was like humorous with H. That part.
Yeah.
I do want to throw out, H has a very cheap body, like Avatar.
What do you mean?
Like the fact that he can like extend his body is like. So
Oh, yeah,
she
okay.
goes to stab him, he's like, not happening, no. Like, extending his body like to like move out the way. I was like, that's kind of cheap.
Hey, when you got body functions like that, when you have robot, you can do whatever you want to.
That's true.
It's a video game, man.
You're not wrong.
Although I have to admit, when you see H like stretch, like when the body starts stretching because the hydraulics goes like up,
Oh yeah.
I was more afraid that there would be a side swipe and it would just be like half and half, with just legs and like arms, because there's only so many pistons in that area, and I'm just like, H is gonna get cut in half, and that's what I was worried about, but it never happened. So
like that was nice and kind
can I
of.
say one thing
Yeah.
about the show? In the second challenge, when they open the door, they're in the Great Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is like ripped straight from the movie.
Yeah.
It looks just like it. And I
Oh, the
remember,
lobby?
Yeah, I remember when I was watching the movie and that scene happens. I heard people in the audience like audibly gasp because they probably are doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm like, this looks just like the cool. God, Jesus! It's like, it makes me remember that Stanley Kubrick and
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg are friends in real life.
Yeah.
And they're actually really inspired by each other.
I believe they've also like one directs and the other produces, and like vice versa.
Yeah.
So like, which I think was why they were able to get The Shining, because Steve was like,
Hey, I got a friend. Hold on. Let me. Hey, Kubrick. Oh, you mind if I use The Shining? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I can buy you donuts on Thursday.
but that's why like the thing about Ready Player One is like when you're reading the book, you're like, all right, there's a lot of stuff in this book that like you're not gonna be able to get.
Yeah, I was thinking of licensing.
Unless you got Spielberg to direct. Because, like, the book is just, like, Spielberg reference after reference.
Yeah.
And it was like, well... And even the audience came out and said, it was like, I would like to get Steven Spielberg. He will never direct this movie. And then, like, the studio called him and was like, Steven Spielberg wants is, like, interested in the movie. And the author was like, what?
I'm sorry, what?
But yeah, other than that, like, The Shining was... beautiful, like, shot. Looked just like the movie until you get the ballroom scene. Anyone else has any Shining or second challenge?
No.
I just want to point out, I loved the gate. The Jade Gate.
Yeah.
I loved it. Because, like, first I was like, I want my gate. Then we got it. Then we're going to move on to, like, the third challenge, which we find out is Adventure. Has anyone ever played Adventure?
That is way before my time, sir.
I had an Atari. I never owned Adventure.
I've played Adventure
Yeah.
very briefly, but that was when I was younger and I was like short attention span and everything. I was like, this is stupid. I'm done with this.
Well, I can see why, because you are a dot fighting dots going around places of lines. You need like a lot of imagination to get through
Finding
like
keys,
the early
like,
Atari
getting
stuff.
keys and everything.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to actually try and find the Easter egg.
Yeah.
Which I kind of do want to go play Adventure to see if I can find the
Dude,
Easter
I
egg.
guarantee you don't want to play Adventure. You don't want to play that game, man. You play Pitfall before you play Adventure.
I don't mind Pitfall.
Yeah, because Pitfall, you can actually see things. Like, okay, those 2 dots, alligator. That 1 dot, ostrich. I know what those things are.
Those line dots, rope. I do like how like the second challenge and like you see like the IOI scared and everything,
Yeah.
and then like the high five or like they do something. And it's like they already found the third key, the third gate like key, and it's like, what happened like in 5 minutes that they find the key already?
What
Yeah,
the
that's
heck?
the whole pacing I was talking
Yeah,
about.
like what happened in the 5 minutes that they got it?
I don't want to say it's pacing wise because that's the same thing happened in the book.
Yeah.
It's like once they finally got the second and they got the limerick and everything, they're like, we know this, and they get there. So what did y'all think about the challenge itself, not the war? Because the war is its conversation on its own.
Yeah.
That one's by far a nod to. I'm not gonna even remember his name, but the creator of the first person to ever put an Easter egg
I can't
in a
remember his
video
name.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a like serious nod to them, and because this movie's all about Easter eggs,
Yeah.
and why not the first?
Yeah, the very first person to put the first Easter egg in the first video game that you could actually find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like such a nod to them. Like that's what I love about this movie. It just gives so many nods and so many tidbits of informations about everything. Like something you may not have known or how to do.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you might have known how to get the Easter egg, but you might not know of like what it does or how you could do or get the Easter egg, or if there was an Easter egg, you didn't know about it until now.
Mm-hmm. Also, the thing about that Easter egg in particular, it's also great because you don't win to get it.
Yeah.
Like that's so profound in the movie and for the story that they were going for.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't win, you don't get the Easter egg by winning. You do it just by playing.
Yeah.
That like
You have fun with the game.
yeah, and
Just
that's
going around aimlessly having fun or something.
and that's kind of how I feel about the movie because in Ready Player One, you kind of know they're gonna win in the end, but like it's a spectacle. So like you don't know how they're gonna get there. So like in this movie, even though I've read the book and I already know how it's all gonna work, I still want to know how it's gonna happen. You know, so watching the movie for the first time really is important to me, at least because I didn't care about the ending because I already knew the ending.
Yeah.
Like, you have a main character trying to get this thing. He's gonna get that thing in the end. But like, what makes the movie fun is everything in between.
Yeah.
Because there are some movies where like you go through everything and then the ending happens and the whole movie is ruined. You know? That happens.
Yeah.
Like the ending can ruin an entire movie. But in this movie, I feel like there's so much good stuff in between. Even if the ending is a little weird, I still love the movie.
I just want to throw out the person who created the first Easter egg is Warren Robinette.
Oh.
Okay.
Didn't he just want his name in it, like for the credits, because they didn't show it or something?
Oh no, because back in those days, like the programmers and everything did not get credit for the games they created. So he's like, "All right, you don't give me credit. Program my own name in this Easter."
Yeah.
And it'd be the first. It became the first Easter egg.
That is cool.
Little slide chick there, like, all right, fine, I'm just gonna slide this right in here. Who worked on this? Me.
It would have been amazing, like, if you're the first person that you just came across that by accident.
People wouldn't believe you.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like no, it's
Especially the lengths you have to go to do it.
especially
You have to go to a random place, pick up a random dot that you can't see, then go to a room that you can't see the walls, and then bring that entire thing to the key, then bring the key to the very first screen of the game, and then move to the right.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
and it's
what?
it was also in the time frame where we didn't have phones or
Or
cameras.
internet.
recording.
There was no internet.
So you could be like, no, seriously, look, here's a picture of it, and it's like you would have to do it again.
Like
kinda-
you would have to do it. It's like word of mouth of people would actually end up believing you.
And I'm sorry, like, I know if we were all like transported back then, and I was the first one to find that Easter egg, and I told y'all, you're like,
Wouldn't have believed you.
no one would believe
I
me.
don't even
I
have
wouldn't
to
even
go
believe
that
the
far.
concept.
Like, I remember as a kid, everybody thought you could get Mew by using strength on that truck. And that was just word of mouth. It wasn't in like Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
It wasn't on like the internet because a lot of us didn't have access to the internet back then. But for some reason, so many kids remember use strength on the truck and you'll get Mew.
No. Now it turns out all you have to do was get an Abra, teleport, do some weird stuff without without looking at the trainers, and then teleport again, and then
Have a certain thing in your inventory.
yeah. No, you didn't even need that.
Okay.
Just pause buffer before the trainer sees you, and teleport again, and then
Oh, yeah.
go into the grass, and then you catch up. Mew.
Wait,
Mew.
what?
Yeah. But to do that, don't you also get missing no?
I
And
don't
then
know.
that will glitch your game if you get missing no instead of Mew.
No, missing gnome is more downward towards
Cinnamon?
Blaine's area.
Oh, okay.
You run into him. If I had had my Game Boy,
That's a conversation for another
Yeah, I can
episode.
actually
Because
show you.
I'm now very curious of that.
But
It's really
this is-
easy to
But this
do.
is like red and blue, and this is during a time where you either had Nintendo Power or you had word of mouth.
Yeah.
So that's just my personal experience with like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember like all the Easter eggs in like Mario games, where it's like I'm in Super Mario World, but I'm stuck in the forest. I don't know how to get out. I'm just stuck in this like forest area, and I can't get through the game. But you have to like fly up. How am I supposed to know? I'm supposed to fly up. There's no feathers in the level. You have to get a feather from somewhere else, come back to a level, then fly up, and then you can continue the rest of Super Mario World. I didn't know that. So I didn't finish Super Mario World when I was a kid. I'm like, I guess this is just how the game is.
One thing I liked about the third challenge was the fact that like they were trying different games,
Yeah.
and it's like 1 minute into this game,
Quest.
Quest was one, and it's like they kept falling through the ice and everything. It's like that's not the right one. And even when they got to Adventure, like he's playing it, he's like, we're past the 1 minute mark, and it's like, we got this. And then he beats the game and he falls through the ice. He's like, it's not Adventure. It's like, you should have known like after the 1 minute mark something involving Adventure. But what did y'all like about? Is there anything y'all like disliked about the whole Adventure playing?
On the Atari?
Yeah.
In the book, the first challenge, he plays Joust against like a Lich King, I think.
Yeah.
And I really like that imagery of this like Dark Souls looking dead thing hovering over this tiny arcade box with like crunching bones and tap 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 and like a squeaky like joysticks. And I'm glad that in the Oasis they still had that, like to some degree.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they had like at least that imagery of you're in this like hyper like realistic virtual world and there's like a joystick and a button and that's all you gotta do. So I thought that was cool.
Anyone else? So now we're going to get to this giant war. Because this war, I think, had everything. From
So many references.
From obscure references, to great action scenes, to great music.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, the moment he puts the boombox up and starts playing the song, I was 100% into that movie, into the scene.
I was already in the movie. I was all in.
It's like, oh, where they coming from? I thought like little portal gates were gonna pop up like right in front of them. You see everybody. No, they was like, they kind of Mulan the heck out
Yeah,
of
they
this.
Attila the Hun just came up and over the mountains.
I was like, where did they come from?
I was like, y'all gonna crash the server. Everyone's coming at the same time.
I want to know who didn't go. be like that one person, like, you know, they are probably like tens of thousands. Like, everybody else is gone. Why do I need to go? I'll be alright.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna win it anyway.
I would have watched it on the. I would have watched on the. The person watching on the
inventory.
Parzival was like,
on
Parzival's live. Like, if I was Parzival, I would just have that always playing.
I'm just
his
sitting in the
little
main
eight ball
hub,
screaming it. Yeah.
sitting in the main hub, eating like, wow, everybody went there. Like, there is nobody in the main hub right now.
But the thing about it was in the book was, you know, he gave that whole "let's fight for the Oasis" speech.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, in the book, people, like, it states people are just sitting there to watch. People like fly in their ships, sit there and just watch the war.
Yeah.
They're not there to fight. It looks like in this movie, like, everyone was there to fight.
Yeah. It's like the only people who didn't fight didn't show up.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And anybody who did show up was there to like throw down.
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, we're not winning this, but we rather, you know, that guy win than this guy over here who thinks he can just put an orb up and defend himself.
Now, this is my biggest thing with that. Like, normally people are using their gears at home or things like that, but you see people in these streets, in the middle of the streets,
And they're running.
fighting and running, and just like you see the Ninja Turtles out here actually doing flips, and then it pans over to the kids doing flips. What?
Also, I just want to make sure this world that we're in Ready Player One, is it not a dystopia? Didn't they have like a food crisis?
Yes, it's definitely.
They had a corn syrup crisis.
Yeah, corn syrup crisis.
Which
People
I
out
would,
here doing flips in the street. Everyone fit like it's weekend.
well, I think it's with the Oasis and everything, you have the ability to still work out. 'Cause, like,
No, what I mean is, I'm agreeing with Carl. People are out in
okay,
public,
no, I'm not.
on the roads, in the streets with headsets, covering their eyes, fighting.
I'm not denying that it was weird. Because when I saw the trailer, I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're straight up running with, like, an assault rifle, like, pretending to be in your hand. I was like, that doesn't seem safe.
But if it's the norm, I guess it's not weird. If it's the norm,
You're also
I
not
mean,
wrong
I'm
with
just
that.
like, I'm just sitting here wondering how many people actually ran into stuff and actually kicked somebody.
That van,
friendly fire.
there was 4 people in that van.
Yeah.
And at one point, you see Wade do a spin kick
Running
around
around
the
the wall.
van
Yeah.
and not hit a single person.
My man,
I think he
with the hood
warns
on.
them though, doesn't he?
No, because he's at that point he's talking to Anorak about signing the documents. He's like, I'm gonna need a minute.
And then
He does the spin kick, kicks her out the van, which if you survive that, you're a superhuman. Because she straight up landed on her back, maybe her head.
Yeah.
got hit with the Hadouken.
Right?
When he did that, I honestly thought it was either gonna be a Hadouken or the
Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like, Kamehameha.
But so what did y'all like about the war? It was like something like the war.
I want to see that war. If I went, I just need to visually look at that war just to see everything. Like, because that's where everything is on one screen.
When this movie comes out and everything on DVD, 4K and everything, it's gonna be that movie where you pause like every 2 seconds, like analyzing the screen.
Freeze framing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Take you like 3 days to go through the movie, like.
But you know what I have to commend them for? They had a good mix of close-ups and takeaway shots.
Yeah.
Because if you are too far away, you can just say, oh, we had all of these characters in this movie, but you can't tell because you're too far away.
Yeah.
But if you go too close, you can only focus on one.
Yeah.
And you can't really see much of others. They had a pretty good median where you could fit maybe 10, 12 people in a frame, and they're all from different stuff.
Yeah.
You could have 10 different people from like movies, comics, video games,
Cartoons.
stories, cartoons, TV shows, and they're all in like one frame during the fight. And there's so many of those that we see when they're first charging up. You know, we see in like one frame. I remember seeing Tracer.
Tracer,
I
yeah,
remember.
that's what I was gonna say.
And I'm trying to like move out from there. Chun-Li's there, and then one of the freaking ostriches from Joust is there. Blood Rain is there. Tomb Raider
Battletoads.
is there.
All
Battletoads,
four
yeah.
Battletoads were there.
And
Ninja
then
Turtles, you'll see.
Ninja Turtles have their own scene.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was watching with Dave Tyler, I was like, okay, those are Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles? why are those?
I kid you not, like we're in the movie and like he's like, "Oh, Ninja Turtle." He's like, Michael. Like, it was out loud too.
I'm
It
talking.
was like
about
Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. He's like, "I'm being too loud."
yeah. It came to a point where I just forgot I was in a movie theater and I'm just calling out any reference that I see. And I'm just like, oh, AT-AT, Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. Oh, I'm being too loud. My bad, everybody.
Which I will
My
point
bad.
out to the audience and everyone here. It's the first time he's acknowledged he was loud in a movie theater.
Because I knew I was too loud. I'm okay with being loud, but not too loud. I got limits, man. But anyone who's a fan of Evangelion,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of them was in the last
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Serenity ship is there.
Yeah.
For like a brief second, he's dropping Daito off.
Yeah. But you see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Clear as day.
Clear.
Yeah.
So many good references and things like that. Like, damn it, I didn't think they were going to bring in Gundam. That was
See,
my man. He just like, I choose the Gundam frame. I was like, no. In Japanese too.
Yeah.
I want to point this out, like, because I sometimes envy Carl or am jealous of Carl because he doesn't watch trailers.
Never seen a single trailer for Ready Player One.
So stuff
That's good.
like not
Yeah.
knowing the Gundam's gonna show up and having that surprise moment it's shocking.
I'm not
Exactly.
gonna lie. I thought Voltron was gonna show up.
Okay,
the lions were there.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
The
Wait,
red
what?
lion.
Yes,
The red lion is
from
in there.
Voltron.
Yes.
is in there.
The red line's there.
alright guys, I'm moving to the
Yeah, Leia.
Because I kid you not, me and my brother were talking about that. I was like, we were hoping to see the lion at least. Because in the book,
Spicy
Yeah, I remember.
in the book, like the second challenge, you beat the challenge and you get a robot.
True.
5 of the 6 years get the Voltron lions. In the war, they don't get to form Voltron. They immediately get wiped out.
Yeah.
So the fact that I missed the red lion. Okay, was it the new one or was it the '84 version?
It's the old one.
Yeah.
It's the old one.
I'm very upset myself. I missed
Like
that.
big boxy, yeah.
And no one's pointed this out to me.
It's in the left.
I only saw it with you the one time.
And you didn't point it out.
It'll be on the left when you watch the scene.
Okay.
Okay.
In the-
there's a
it's
scene
a
when he's-
zoomed out
when
scene.
he's- Yeah, it's zoomed out. He's in the car and he's driving in.
Okay,
It'll
so
be on the
it's,
left.
it's in the left top, left
No,
bottom,
left,
left center.
left middle. Left middle.
He's in the middle of it.
And it'll be like kind of far away, but it's
Yeah.
a big thing. So.
But you know it's the red light.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch the
You
red
can definitely see the
again.
head, for sure. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, no. Voltron's in, the red lion's in there.
There's a lot of references in that last battle by silhouette alone because they're kind of far away.
Yeah.
apparently there is a silhouette version of someone from the it's a character.
It's Thanos.
No, it's one of Thanos' like henchmen though.
It's what?
One of Thanos' henchmen from Infinity War.
Oh, great! What a great Easter egg. A henchman.
But it's like one of the big like henchmen. Like they're going to battle someone from the Avengers. Apparently, there like a silhouette of them is in it, and it's like I saw a silhouette of them versus the actual like design of the character.
Yeah.
I was like, this is WB's way of saying like we're putting you in our movie without we give two craps what Marvel says.
Yeah. If you say it's one thing, we'll just say it's another because it's only a silhouette. So suck it. What references did you guys see in the war?
I mean,
Overwatch.
Wow, good job. You're real good. You said you should
Um,
you see, if I
Arkham
could tell you a little
Batman.
bit better if I
mean,
haven't
Joker.
seen the movie. What was it? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's when I saw it too.
The last
No,
time-
last
It was
week. I
last
saw it
week.
last
Yeah, it was
week.
last week.
Yeah, last Wednesday was the last.
It's about a
time
week
I
and a
saw it.
half.
Interesting.
Week and a half, yeah. Was last time I saw it, so I'm still trying to bring up things. I did catch the Voltron. I was looking for Sonic, but apparently Sonic was
Okay.
a brief scene.
Okay.
Yeah, he
so
told me about Sonic. I didn't
it's
see
the
it.
third time seeing this movie finally. It's straight dead center in the screen, and you will miss Sonic unless you know you're looking for him, because you don't see Sonic, you see the spinning ball, and him like doing
Yeah,
the
spin
little,
dash.
his spin dash on someone, and then like it cuts away. I was like,
Hey, you gotta go fast, man. You're in the scene. Sonic out here going fast.
apparently at some point in the movie you do see someone like turn into an avatar and like speed off like the Flash.
Wow.
I've not seen that.
I don't remember that.
But go for it. WWE, go for it.
Can we talk about the Iron Giant?
Yes, please.
I know
Yes.
that H was making the Iron Giant as a commission. So one thing that I like is the attention to detail that it's not the Iron Giant. It's like mostly the Iron Giant. There's like pieces missing.
Yeah.
There's like scaffolding where the rest of it is gonna be built. There's like hips are missing, or part of the shin is missing, and you can like see through the Iron Giant during the fight. But still, it has that arm cannon, just shoot
So
away.
I would have lost it if he went full like destructive robot mode on him.
It was like his head like shrinks down and all the guns come out of his like back.
Yep, I would have
Yeah.
lost it.
I was expecting it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like even for just a brief second where he like does it, kills a bunch of Sixers, and like Mechagodzilla comes in and just atomic breaths them.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that little Terminator nod they did.
The thumbs up as they're going into the lava. I remember I was leaning over David Tennant. I'm just like, no matter what movie the Iron Giant is in, he gotta sacrifice himself. I mean, he always gotta die every movie he's in.
True.
So as if you're watching a movie, audience, and the Iron Giant shows up, he gonna die. I did like seeing Parzival drive through the action on his like in his DeLorean.
God, that Chucky was creepy.
Yeah. Just
He's just like, hey, use this.
Hey, use this. And then you see like in the van they just toss something and like usually Chucky.
Like that was probably one of the best scenes. It's just like when they throw him to the Sixers and just like, what's going on? Oh my God, it's Chucky! And then you just see people getting wiped out because of it.
so much red on the warehouse floor.
I think it might have been more red than when Mechagodzilla falls over and like kills a bunch of Sixers.
Chucky out here taking souls.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. It's just Chucky.
But yeah, like there's so many Easter eggs.
I know we've talked about it a little bit in the earlier parts of this podcast, but does anyone know what a Mad Ball is?
I feel like wasn't it a toy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It looks so familiar. I'm remembering the commercials, but I can't remember for what. But I remember it was a toy.
Yeah. It was a face that was very squishy, and a lot of the time the faces was contorted into like a gross grocery gang kind of like mad kind of faces. It was just like they can't see me, but but like if you can remember like the grocery gang where it's all just like about being gross and like cuts and pus and like pimples and puke and vomit, you know, and that's what those things were. I didn't know what it was until after I saw the movie, and I had to look up what that was, because I didn't know about Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, I that's over.
I didn't know about Mad Balls, whatever they're called, but which I think is great because they had some deep cuts in a lot of their references, and I'm glad they didn't just do like the common pop stuff.
Like the stuff that everyone knows nowadays.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
I'm
like there would be people who would get it, and there are people who are not gonna get it, and you know, I'm interested to see Buckaroo Banzai. I'm gonna go watch that now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that.
Like if they felt like it was important enough to reference, then it should be good enough to watch.
Yeah.
Or good enough to remember.
Yeah.
I don't want to say good enough to watch, but it's like a worth watch.
Yeah, because the crawl or the
The Crawl.
crawl. hard to recommend watching that movie. It's good if you want to watch it like a popcorn movie, and you just want to turn your brain off, and you don't care about like.
Pretty much is like Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want to,
Wasn't
like,
there Transformers in this movie? I could have sworn there were Transformers in the race. I could have sworn I saw Sentinel
so,
Prime
actually.
and Optimus Prime in the race.
I think so. I remember Speed Racer's car was there. The Batman car was there.
from the '66.
Yeah.
The A-Team van.
The A-Team van was there.
Which I'm sorry, if you're in a race, why would you drive a van?
I mean,
Luigi's there. He's in a Mario Kart.
who?
Luigi.
I did not see that.
He's really like.
Wait, was he in the front?
Huh?
Like, was he like?
No, it's during when all the stuff is being clashed
Yeah.
together, and
He's probably like in the
he's
middle, like-
yeah, he's definitely in the middle.
Did he give it the death
It's
stare?
it's before the jump.
Did he do a stare?
No.
Oh my god, that
I Luigi dead stare. Passes somebody.
just like something cracked. You just see him. I could have gave a few seconds for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Even just in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this movie. I'm like, I kind of want to go see that. Buckaroo Banzai is one of those.
I want to watch Monty Python again.
I want to
Yes.
see The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining.
Um,
I'd recommend watching The Shining.
Always wanted to, just never had.
I think
Never
it's on
catch it.
Netflix.
I don't
I think it
think
is.
it is.
No.
It's on Walmart for like $5.
Yeah, it's definitely at Walmart for $5. I will say this though. In the book though, there was a movie mentioned like left and right that at some point I was hoping we would like some kind of nod in the movie, and that's the movie Lady Hawk.
Of course you would bring that up.
Well, no, because like H and like there was one part of his favorite movie was Lady Hawk,
Yeah.
and H like legitimately just made fun of her for it.
Mhm.
He's like, I don't know why you love that movie. It's not even gonna be a part of the. It's not a part of the hunt. Nothing. And the person was like, well, that's Halliday's like one of Halliday's favorite movies. It's going to be somewhat part of the hunt. And I was hoping for some kind of nod to Lady Hawk. Just yeah. Anyone else has anything to mention about?
No, I'm gonna say honestly, I think we covered about.
There's one
Can
more
I
thing.
talk about the last part after the when he opens the gate and he has all the keys and he goes in,
Yeah.
and then you're in this like Mortal Kombat looking
Yeah,
arena.
that's what I was like.
See,
Wait, is this
yeah.
Mortal Kombat? What the heck?
That's what I was about to. I was going to bring that up in the attic, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
bedroom was. I'm not gonna lie. If I had the ability to get all three Easter egg, all three keys, and get to that point where I'm like about to like, he's like, yeah, I just need to sign this paper. I'm like, all right, sounds about right. I mean, just legally stuff. I understand. I would have failed. Would have, should have failed. Because I would have signed it.
I
thinking,
remember I leaned over to you and I was like, this is weird. Because in the first part of the race, they make such a big deal about it being to like, he doesn't like rules and he
Yeah.
wants things to be free. And when he put down like, okay, you gotta sign this, I'm like, this looks like rules and it looks like it's not gonna be free.
Yeah,
this
that's-
doesn't feel like Halliday.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
that,
was
that's
like.
what I mean. But I'm like, this is weird.
Well, see, like in my head, I was just thinking legal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's doing all this stuff, but as somewhat, you need some kind of legal document saying.
You own Oasis now.
So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I felt like. He just kind of like, all right, cool, you won. Here, here's paper here, and everything's gonna be yours. Just sign here. Just sign here. Just sign here. That's just like, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I just love how Parzival was like, 1 second, knocks her out the ring. He's like, yeah, I'm not signing this. I'm not signing this. This is just like you did with I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Would
And
you have
it's like-
signed it, Allie?
Probably.
Allie out here trying to get rich.
And then you go to the room, which I want to point out has Easter eggs from the book.
Oh yeah.
Because it
In
has
the posters.
It has posters for
and,
Joust.
Yeah.
It has posters for War Games, I believe.
Mhm.
Pretty much all the challenges they didn't get from the book to the movie is in there.
Yeah.
Rush, which I'm upset Rush was not in the soundtrack at all. Not even Tom Sawyer. Come on. But yeah, what did y'all think of the attic bedroom scene with?
I just laughed at how he almost actually destroyed the Oasis on his first day.
Please don't. Like,
accidentally destroy the Oasis lady for his day.
Lurches forward due to the van, and his hand just goes straight for it. But there's something similar like that in the book, right? It's behind a bookcase.
Yeah, the giant button's there, but it's just behind a bookcase.
Like, please don't make the giant button so visible.
You know,
Like, why is it a giant button?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, he's like, yeah, here's the button, you know, only you will know where it's at, don't tell anyone, yada yada. But still, it was like, why would you have it in the open?
Yeah.
Why is it a giant button?
Why is it huge, red, and like the size of my hand? Also, can I just say, whether it was a bedroom or an attic, that room just looked cozy.
It did.
It just looked so like I just
Chill.
want to like sit there.
That is my chill spot where I bring in friends after a long week of school and we
Hell
just
yeah.
hang out and eat junk food and play games.
Especially, like, younger Halliday over here just playing video games. It was
Yeah.
like, it sounds very, like, calming.
He had a CRT, a Atari, and a bookcase just overflowing with games. Just there wasn't even enough space in there. Just all the games just like pouring out on the floor.
It was. I'm definitely going to see the for a fourth time now that I know that there's a red line in there.
Yeah, look to your left. It'll be right there.
I'm going to. I'm not going to take my eyes going to be fixed on the left side of the screen. Like, no.
It's during the war.
I've seen all this movie already. I can watch you blindfolded.
Also, during that scene in the attic, that's where we were talking about before, where Halliday says, Wade says to Halliday, like, are you dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So, I gotta admit, like, in that scene, I like to imagine that he's there, right? And, like, they're, like, talking, and he hasn't gotten the egg yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just talking to him. But what's happening in the real world? Sorrento is like walking towards the
gun.
van with the gun. Can we talk about that? And I'm like, he's not even pointing it at anybody. He's just holding it straight up. And he's in a crowd full of people. And nobody wants to do anything.
I think-
Grab him by the ankles, body slam him, grab him by the wrist, throw something at him. There's so many things you can do.
Honestly, I remember hearing his brother say something about this in the movie. He's like, there's only 9 shots in there. Only 9 people literally have to take a bullet.
Or just get 50 Cent and boom, he'll survive. He'll take all 9 shots and he'll be okay.
Bring it on to that scene where, like, Sorrento's walking through, like, all that crap and not getting tackled.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, he opens the van door, sees, like, Wade holding, like, you see, like, the gold and spark and everything, and Sorrento's like,
Damn.
it's like,
He just looks at him. Well, I lost.
I feel bad for trying to kill y'all. And, like, police is like, drop the gun. And he's like, nah. One, don't throw a gun.
Drop the gun. Okay. My
Just
cabbages.
the very sudden turn that he had from, like, I'm going to kill these people to
It's not worth it.
I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, come on. Just
And then don't forget, he turns back on when he's in the car and he sees Finale.
yeah.
And then he's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. And I was like, okay, 5 seconds ago, you were defeated. And now you're already back on, like, getting revenge.
And my brother brought up in the movie, he's like, his like, second in command.
Yeah.
Her name's Finale, which is like finale. I expected she was gonna be some big parts of the end of the movie, and
No,
nothing.
just get kicked out the van.
Yeah. Nothing really exciting happens with her.
So
Also, they make it really obvious that, like, the drones are, like, bad. The drones are bad. Like, there's nothing they can do to take down a drone. And even someone takes down the drone at one part of the movie.
yeah, Dino comes out with a bat. He's like, Dino comes out with a bat, uses like a samurai sword, and destroys a
Drum.
drum. I was like, do you have to do like samurai style? I mean, other than that, like, we've pretty much talked about everything we have on here. Like, is there any last remarks?
Go see the movie 5
Okay.
times.
Can't recommend watching this movie multiple times more. Like, you gotta watch this movie.
I'm going to go see it in D-Box. which is like the seats move like with the
Yeah.
action and everything.
When is that happening?
I don't know yet.
Let me know.
I still at some point need to go see Pacific Rim, so
Pacific Rim can wait for DVD. Let me know when
Just
that
have a
happens.
friend move the chair for you.
I saw it. It can wait.
so yeah, at some point I'm going to see D-Box. If you have a theater near you that has D-Box, it's expensive, but go do it. It's fun. I guess that will conclude the podcast unless anyone has any final remarks. Final remarks? Final
Hey, I
remarks?
love this movie, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Late Night with David Jones. I'm David, Carl, Allie, Brian. Y'all have a great night.
Good night.